Packed my life in a dusty duffel, boots tied with shaking hands. Mama cried into her apron, Daddy said go on, be the kind of man who don't let fear fence him in, though his voice was rough and low, and the porch light flickered softly like it hated letting me go. But the road kept whispering louder than the crickets in the yard, telling me dreams don't grow unless you chase them hard. So I drove toward the skyline, toward a future I ain't seen, trading back roads for bright lights, small town nights for big city dreams. But no matter how far I wander, no matter how far I roam, I got southern sun in my blood and bones, full of home. The city's sidewalks felt like strangers, buildings rising like they knew every dreamer who had stumbled, every heart that pushed on through. I worked late in some old diner, writing songs on napkin scraps, missing front porch conversations, and my dog asleep in Daddy's lap. But every time I'd falter, I'd hear Mama's steady tone, you carry us inside you, son, you'll never walk alone. So I ran toward that skyline, toward a future I ain't seen, trading back roads for bright lights, small town nights for big city dreams. But no matter how far I wander, no matter how far I roam, I've got southern sun in my blood and bones, full of home. Success ain't just the stages or the crowds that call your name. Sometimes it's learning who you are and loving where you came. One night I stood on a rooftop, staring down at all I'd earned. Realized the bigger the world gets, the more your heart gets turned. Back to gravel roads and kitchen prayers, to the place your soul returns. Now I'm older, dreams still burning, but I visit more these days. Drive past the church, the old feed store, the fields where I was raised. Mama hugs me like the years we lost get folded into one, and Daddy slaps my back real proud. Look how far you've come, son. Yeah, I ran toward that skyline, toward a future I ain't seen, trading back roads for bright lights, small town nights for big city dreams. But every mile I travel just carved deeper what I've known. I've got southern sun in my blood and bones, full of home. And when the world feels too big, I just follow the
Too
pull.
heavy to hide, found a seat between a stranger's grinning and an empty place inside.
The jukebox played a wounded song that somehow knew my name, and every neon flicker whispered, boy, you're not the only one in pain.
Funny how a barroom glow can soften what you feel, make the broken edges dull enough to finally start to heal.
There's neon mercy on a Friday night, where the lost and lonely stumble into someone else's life. Strangers turn to family for just a couple hours, sharing hurt like it's a language, trading hope like borrowed flowers. Yeah, this honky tonk has seen its fights, but it knows how to make the wrong things feel a little right. Old man Jack said heartbreak hits the proudest men the worst.
Slid a beer You're falling pieces, hold 'em steady till you find your fight.
There's neon mercy on a Friday night, where the lost and lonely stumble into someone else's life. Strangers turn to family for just a couple hours, sharing hurt like it's a language, trading hope like borrowed flowers. Yeah, this honky-tonk has seen its fights, but it knows how to make the wrong things feel a little right.
By midnight we were laughing like the night had never stung. Our stories braided loosely, just enough to feel young.
And in that bittersweet communion of the nearly broken hearts,
We found a kind of healing you can't learn from any charts.
when I stepped back outside, the world felt lighter in my chest.
Like I'd left a little sorrow there and took back what was best. And I knew I'd return someday when life gets sharp again. 'Cause sometimes you need a honky-tonk to remind you you're still human.
There's neon mercy on a Friday night, where shadows fade a little underneath the colored light. Strangers turn to family, even if it's just too close, and you walk out feeling stronger than the hurt you brought in those doors. Yeah, this honky-tonk don't fix your life, but it sure makes the road ahead feel right.
Neon mercy.
Shook me gently, said, boy, it's
Sometimes
time to rise
that's
again.
all that matters.
And I dragged my Saturday sins into that church of 100 friends. Old Miss Clara hugged me tight like she knew what I'd done wrong. And the choir warmed up softly, humming half a gospel song. There's a hush before the music when your heart remembers truth, and you feel that quiet tug that takes you back to simpler youth. 'Cause there's a place where the hymns wash over me, where guilty hearts get lighter and lost souls start to breathe. That old wooden pew knows every weight I've tried to hide, but somehow grace finds me anyway on a Sunday morning side. Yeah, every week I fall, and every week I feel set free, where the hymns wash over me.
Pastor Joe starts preaching about forgiveness like he's read my mind, talking about how even wanderers can leave their past behind. And I see tears on faces I once thought had it all put together, realizing we're all broken folks, just hoping for better weather. And when the choir
Lifts up amazing grace and harmony, I swear the cracked parts of my chest rise up and try to sing with me. 'Cause there's a place where the hymns wash over me, where guilty hearts get lighter and lost souls start to breathe. That old wooden pew knows every weight I've tried to hide, but somehow grace finds me anyway on the Sunday morning side. Yeah, every week I fall, and every week I feel set free, where the hymns wash over me. By the time the doors swing open and the sunlight hits my face, I feel steady on my feet again, held together by His grace. And the handshakes, hugs, and laughter follow me right to my truck, reminding me redemption ain't a miracle, just mercy, love, and luck. As I'm driving back down Main Street, windows down and spirit clean, I thank the Lord for folks who love me more than what I've been. And though I stumble through the weekdays, lose my way and chase my pride, I know Sunday morning's coming. I've got a place to run and hide. 'Cause there's a place where the hymns wash over me, where the weak grow stronger just by falling to their knees. That old wooden pew don't judge the man I've had to be. It just waits to lift me up again with that gospel melody. Yeah, in a world that breaks us down, the church still builds me piece by piece, where the hymns wash over me. I roll back into town on a Tuesday, dust still clinging to my coat. Past the water tower leaning sideways, and the creek where we skip stones and float. Saw the diner with the faded awning, same old truck parked out back, but something in the air felt different, like the years had changed this track. 'Cause time's a quiet sculptor, carving edges you can't see, till you come home and realize the biggest change is living you, not the streets. I'm walking roads I used to run, breathing memories I once chased. Every house and crack in the pavement looks familiar but feels replaced. Left here a boy full of fire, came back with storms I had to weather, and the man in my rearview isn't me anymore. But somehow this town fits us both together. Saw my high school on the corner, band rehearsing out on the field. Heard their echoes bouncing skyward, like the dreams I used to shield. Stopped by Mama's porch at sunset, she just smiled and held me tight. Said, son, we all get broken somewhere, but you came back standing right. And those words hit like a prayer, soft but truer than a hymn. Sometimes leaving teaches lessons that come home living under your skin. I'm walking roads I used to run, breathing memories I once chased. Every house and crack in the pavement looks familiar but feels replaced. Left here a boy full of fire, came back with storms I had to weather, and the man in my rearview isn't me anymore. But somehow this town fits us both together. Maybe home ain't where you start, maybe home's the place that waits, where the porch light never flickers even when you show up late, where forgiveness soaks the soil and the past don't hold you down, where you lay your burdens gently on the heartbeat of your town. Tonight I'm sitting by the river where I carved my name at 10, tracing lines I left behind, like I'm shaking hands with an old friend. And I whisper to the water, Lord, I'm grateful for the miles, 'cause the road that wore me thinner is the same one bringing back my smile. Now I'm walking roads I used to run, breathing memories I once chased. Every house and crack in the pavement looks familiar but feels replaced. Left here a boy full of fire, came back with storms I had to weather, and the man in my rearview isn't me anymore. But this town still holds my past and future together. Guess coming home changed me and somehow made me more more than the man I left in. Coffee in a thermos, jacket smelling like the night before. I watched him lace his work-worn sole into steel-toe shoes. Never said much, but somehow I always knew he carried something heavy that no one ever saw. Taught me right from wrong with silence more than talk. And I learned by the lift of his shoulders, by the dust on his jeans, how a man keeps standing when the world leans. Calloused hands holding more than they ever claimed. He taught me strength in the quiet, in the weight he never named. He drove that same old rusty truck down County Road 9, a heartbeat of an engine giving all it had in time. He'd come home bone tired, but still fixed the things we broke. Held his whole world together with patience and a slow-spoken joke. He never asked for nothing, never once complained, just showed up every morning in sunshine or in rain. And I learned by the lift of his shoulders, by the dust on his jeans, how a man keeps standing when the world leans. Calloused hands holding more than they ever claimed. He taught me strength in the quiet, in the weight he never named. Now I'm older and I see him in the mirror someday. Same stubborn jaw, same worn out ways. And I wish I told him clearer while he was teaching me to stand. How proud I was to be the son of a blue-collar man. These days I take my own lunch pail, kiss my kids goodbye, walk the path he walked before me with that same steady stride. And when the long day's done, I sit down and understand every unspoken lesson he placed in my hands. So I lift up my shoulders, brush the dust off my jeans, keep on standing even when the world leans. My calloused hands now holding more than I ever claimed, 'cause he taught me strength in the quiet, in the weight he never named. Yeah, I carry him with me in the work, in the grit, in the man I became. All because of that quiet strength and the way
your voice shaking soft as you said we'd gone too far apart. Cicadas hummed like they were trying to fill the silence for us, while I held the steering wheel tight like it could hold my heart. Your tears hit the dashboard before you ever turned away, and I knew right then some nights don't lead to brighter days. I tried to speak, but every word felt too little too late, and the truth settled in heavier than the night on that lake. Broken hearts on back roads, cut deeper than they show, where goodbye echoes louder in the quiet country glow. You walked off toward the darkness, I stayed in the afterglow, and love slipped through our fingers where the tail lights fade slow. Yeah, some endings ain't loud, they just change everything you know. Out there on those back roads where the tail lights fade slow. I drove you home once down this same gravel mile, but tonight I'm driving solo replaying every smile. Windshield full of memories I can't wipe clean or clear, and the scent of your perfume still lingering like you're near. The moon lit up your porch as you climbed those steps alone, and the engine felt too loud when I pulled away from home. If love is a journey, I guess ours ran out of road. 'Cause some stories end where the river water flows cold. Broken hearts on back roads, cut deeper than they show, where goodbye echoes louder in the quiet country glow. You walked off toward the darkness, I stayed in the afterglow, and love slipped through our fingers where the tail lights fade slow. Yeah, some endings ain't loud, they just change everything you know. Out there on those back roads where the tail lights fade slow, maybe someday I'll drive this way and it won't ache so deep. Maybe that river won't haunt the corners of my sleep. But tonight every shadow on this road knows your name, and every mile I put behind me still feels the same. Sun's coming up soft on the long ride back to town, painting gold on the gravel where our dreams fell down. I whisper a prayer that you find whatever love couldn't give, and I'll learn how to move on, learn how to let myself live. But no matter how far I go or how much time will pass, I remember the night we knew our love wouldn't last. Broken hearts on back roads, cut deeper than they show, where goodbye echoes louder in the quiet country glow. You walked off toward the darkness, I stayed in the afterglow, and love slipped through our fingers where the tail lights fade slow. Yeah, some endings ain't sharp, sometimes they barely even blow, just fade like distant tail lights on a long, lonesome road. And I'm still driving when I sign, still learning how to let you go. Mama, I'd be back by fall. She packed my boots, kissed my cheek, said, son, stand proud, but don't stand tall. Daddy shook my hand too long, trying hard not to let it shake. I drove off down that red clay road, not knowing what a boy can break. I thought leaving meant I'd come back the same, but some roads don't return you by the name you came. Now there's blueprints on an empty porch, the stories I don't tell at night. I brought home flags and folded prayers, but I lost a little more in every fight. They wave at me like I'm still that kid, but I see ghosts when the fireworks torch the sky. Yeah, there's blueprints on an empty porch, and a soldier still learning how to cry.
Folks ask where I've been sleeping, like the answer's anywhere but here. I keep the light on in my old bedroom, the truth is I don't go near. My brother's wearing my old jacket, still smells like dust from overseas. He says he's proud, then looks away, afraid of what he'll read in me. I ain't broken, just been where the weight got thrown, trying to fit myself back into the place I called home.
Now there's blueprints on an empty porch, and stories I don't tell at night. I brought home flags and folded prayers, but I lost a little more in every fight. They wave at me like I'm still that kid, but I see ghosts when the fireworks torch the watching porch lights flicker gold. For the first time since I came back home, I don't feel quite as cold. The wind hums low like a lullaby, and I let the memories walk slow. Maybe healing ain't a finish line, just the courage to let go. Now there's bootprints on an empty porch, but they're fading in the morning sun. I've still got ghosts and folded prayers, but they don't weigh like they once done. They wave at me like I'm still that kid, and maybe I can meet them halfway tonight. Yeah, these bootprints on an empty porch, they're learning how to step back into the light. So here I am on this old wood floor, where a soldier comes home slow.
One breath at a time, one sunrise more,
And a heart learning how to grow.
handed me his old work gloves, said, son, this land's your legacy, take care of what you love. The weight of his words settled in deeper than the dirt, 'cause pride can feel like honor, and sometimes like it hurts. At the table, Mama prayed we'd keep the family name strong, but there were nights I wondered if staying meant I'd be wrong. Every road I didn't take kept pulling on my soul, like tradition had its own way of not letting go. It's the beauty and the weight of where I come from, tight as barbed wire, warm as the southern sun. Some days it lifts me up, some days it feels like a chain, holding on to memories, holding in the pain. Yeah, love runs deep, but so do expectations. That's the beauty and the weight of our traditions.
Granddad carved our names into the oak behind the barn. Said a man's roots matter more than the muscle in his arm. But I dreamed of neon roads, of cities far and wide. Still I stayed afraid of the hurt I'd bring if I tried. My brother left at 21, said he had to breathe, and Mama cried for years, 'cause he didn't ask to leave. I thought about following him, just driving till morning light, but guilt sat in the shotgun seat every damn night. It's the beauty and the weight of where I come from, tight as barbed wire, warm as the southern sun. Some days it lifts me up, some days it feels like a chain, holding on to memories, holding in the pain. Yeah, love runs deep, but so do expectations. That's the beauty and the weight of our traditions. But I'm learning now that tradition ain't prison walls. It's the stories, not the sacrifice, that keep us standing tall. And you can honor where you're from without staying stuck. Sometimes breaking a pattern is its own kind of luck. So I packed my bag slow, told Daddy face to face, I'll always love this land, but I gotta find my place. He nodded once, proud eyes soft like he understood. Said a man who follows his heart brings honor to the wood. And for the first time ever, freedom didn't feel like sin. I carried our name
not the weight of what's been. It's the beauty and the weight of where I come from. Tight as barbed wire, warm as the southern sun. But now it lifts me higher every mile I roam. 'Cause tradition's in my blood, not just tied to home. Yeah, love runs deep, and now I feel its meaning. That's the beauty, without the weight of our traditions.
Rust on the fenders like freckles from the sun. Dad tossed me the keys when I turned 16. Said, take care of her, boy, she'll outlast everyone.
First time I drove her, my hand shook on the wheel, but she rumbled like she knew exactly how I'd feel. Every dent, every scratch, every stain on that seat feels like a chapter of the man I came here to be. 'Cause the miles still talk to me even when the engine's cold. Every heartbreak, every good day, every night I felt bold. She's carried my laughter, my silence, my sense of start of so many stories, and where each one ends, yeah, the road may forget me, but she never will. The miles still talk to me,
And somehow they always will.
took her on my first road trip with a girl I swore I'd marry. Her bare feet on the dashboard, sun tangled in her hair. We fought and made up by a quiet Tennessee river. Left a tear stain on the window, we both pretended it wasn't there.
That seatbelt still locks like it remembers her touch. Funny how vinyl can still hurt just as much.
I tried selling her once, but my chest tightened up. Some things ain't metal in parts, some things are love. 'Cause the miles still talk to me even when the engine's cold. Every heartbreak, every good day, every night I felt bold. She's carried my laughter, my silence, my sins, the start of so many stories, and where each one ends, yeah, the road may forget me, but she never will. The miles still talk to me. Sometimes late at night I sit behind that wheel, and the ghosts of who I've been breathe warm on the steel.
If a man is just memories tied up in steel and dust, then this old truck is the part of me I still trust.
Now my boy asks, Daddy, when can I drive her? And I see 16-year-old me staring back in his grin. I tell him one day, son, but let her teach you slow. She'll break you, she'll hold you, she'll build you again. And I swear that old Ford hums like she understands, ready to carry the weight of another young man.
Yeah, the miles still talk to me, and soon they'll talk to him. About the hearts you win and lose, and where the roads begin.
She'll carry his stories the way she carried mine, across breakups, makeups, wrong turns, and better times. The world spins forward, but she's steady and still, and the miles will talk to him, just like they always will.
So I pat her hood softly like an old trusted friend. Some roads don't lead you somewhere.
Every
They
Friday
bring you
night,
home
the world
again.
got small beneath that yellow glow. Bleachers packed with memories only hometown folks could know. Mom was selling nachos, Dad was bragging about my run, and I was just a nervous kid trying hard to make them proud of their son. Those nights felt bigger than anything life could throw, like the whole damn town was breathing in one heartbeat down below. Under those lights we all believed in the boys we were and the men we'd be. Win or lose, those tears still shake my bones, 'cause that field was the first place I ever felt. And under those lights, yeah, under those lights we all believed. Coach Harper yelling, digging deep, like it was gospel truth, teaching lessons made of grit that outlast any proof. And the heartbreak game still echo, final seconds, dreams undone. But those losses carved out something that the victories never won. Funny how defeat can hold you tighter than the cheers, 'cause it taught me who I was meant to be in harder years. Under those lights we all believed in the boys we were and the men we'd be. Win or lose, those cheers still shake my bones, 'cause that field was the first place I ever felt. And under those lights, yeah, under those lights we all believed. Let them love these nights the most, 'cause someday they'll look back and swear this field still holds their ghost. Tonight the scoreboard flickers, but my heart knows every play. I can hear my younger footsteps running wild across the day, and I smile at how that stadium still feels like home to me. It's where my past and future shake hands in the cool night breeze. Under those lights we all believed in the hope that hits you harder than any speed. Win or lose, as those cheers still shake my bones, and I'm grateful for that dirt where I learned I wasn't alone. Yeah, under those lights we still believe. And under those lights I'm still the kid I used to be. I was raised where the pines lean in like they're whispering secrets, where the gravel roads twist like they're hiding what you've done. My daddy ran shine with a Bible on the dash. Said, boy, good heart don't always make you the good one.
I learned early that some lines ain't meant to be straight, and some rules only matter if your soul ain't pulling more weight.
There's a fire that grows quiet but burns deep within, and you learn to follow it long before you learn to sing. 'Cause we live where the law can't catch the wind, where trouble's an old friend you shake hands with again. We break what chains us bend, we won't be living fast, dying slow, but loyal to the end. Call us outlaws, call us wrong, hell, call us what you will. We live where the law can't catch the wind.
And our spirits never stand still.
learn as kids. You swing with trouble long enough, it swings back but never hits.
Yeah, Mama prayed nightly that I'd straighten the hell out.
But even her soft voice couldn't tame my wild doubt. 'Cause we live where the law can't catch the wind, where trouble's an old friend you shake hands with again. We break what chains us bend, what won't bend, living fast, dying slow, but loyal to the end. Call us outlaws, call us wrong, hell, call us what you will. We live where the law can't catch the wind, but somewhere between running and standing tall,
You learn which battles matter and which ones ain't worth a brawl.
even rebels grow tired of their own heavy load.
And a wild heart softens when it finds a better road.
Now I'm older and the nights don't hit quite the same.
I still break a rule or two, but I sign my real name.
I teach the young ones that bravery ain't just a fist, it's knowing what fights to choose and what storms to resist.
I'm still rough around the edges, but I made my peace.
A rebel ain't a rebel if his heart don't seek release.
Yeah, I live where the law can't catch the wind, but I've learned every outlaw's got a place he begins. We break what chains us bend, what won't bend,
But we grow, we heal, we rise,
but we rise.
and we mend. Call me stubborn, call me change, call me what you will. I still live where the law can't catch the wind, but my soul's a little more still.
So here's to the wild ones, running their own way. May the wind always hide you
And guide you someday. Said the land don't just belong to you, boy, you belong to what you leave behind. I grew up chasing fireflies over ground my kin once bled to keep. Every fence post held a story, and the soul held every secret deep. But time don't stop for memories, and money talks too loud. Developers came knocking, trying to buy us out. But this dirt's got my family's footprints buried in its skin. Every heartbreak, every harvest, every loss, every win. You can't put a price on history or the names carved in these trees. I'm fighting for more than land, I'm fighting for where the roots remember me. Dad works sun up to sundown, keeping rust from eating through the plow. Said if my daddy could save it in hard times, we ain't losing it now. We walk fields whispering stories of storms that nearly took it all, but still the calm rose stubborn, answering every prayer we call. Now the bank wants their signatures and the papers don't feel fair, but we're standing where our father stood, saying we're not going anywhere. 'Cause this dirt's got my family's footprints buried in its skin. Every heartbreak, every harvest, every loss, every win. You can't put a price on history or the names carved in these trees. I'm fighting for more than land, I'm fighting for where the roots remember me. One night I walked the boundary line with a lantern in my hand, felt the weight of every promise made by every man who worked this land. And I swear I heard my granddad say, son, hold on and make your stand. This place ain't just your past, it's the future in your hands. So I signed a loan, saved the farm, and I'm raising kids on sacred ground, teaching them the same old lessons that keep pride from breaking down. And when they chase fireflies at dusk, just like I used to be, I pray one day they'll understand what this land means to me. Yeah, this dirt's got to your own grit. Grandma sipping sweet tea, laughing every time he'd fuss. Told me, son, life's just a journey, don't let fear drive the bus. The words rolled softer than the breeze that brushed the pines, but somehow hit harder than all the years that followed mine. On that front porch, I learned everything I need. How to love, how to lose, how to plant a simple seed. Those stories dripping honey, those warnings carved in time, sweet tea truths and weathered wood, shaped the man I'd come to find. Granddad tapped his boot heel, saying, boy, pride won't buy you peace. And Grandma added, but kindness, that'll make your blessings increase. They trade jokes about each other, laugh till the fireflies arose, teaching me joy ain't complicated, it's something your heart just knows. Yeah. Looking back now, I didn't see the gold I had, but those little moments shine brighter than the biggest dreams I've chased since then. On that front porch, I learned everything I need. How to love, how to lose, how to plant a simple seed. Those stories dripping honey, those warnings carved in time, sweet tea truths and weathered wood, shape the man I'd come to find. Now the chairs sit empty, but their voices fill the air, whispering through the quiet like they're still rocking there. Whenever life turns stormy and I'm lost in my own mind, I hear Grandma's gentle laughter say, baby, you'll be just fine. So I bring my son out here now, set him on the same old boards, tell him about the folks before him and the wisdom they once poured. And I pray he feels their love in every creek beneath his feet, 'cause the past still breathes out here, the old and new can meet. On this front porch, he'll learn everything he'll need. How to hope, how to pray, how to plant a simple seed. And those stories I passed him, though they started long behind, sweet tea truths and weathered wood, still shape the man he'll come to find. Yeah, sweet tea truths. Still shaping every step of mine. Sitting low behind her smile, she laughed when I missed my throw. Said, boy, you ain't won a prize in a while. We wandered past the Barker, shouting, lights blinking red and blue. And I swear the whole fair shrank down until it felt like just us two.
Funny how a summer night can make a stranger feel like fate, and every step we took together slowed the world to half its weight. Cotton candy on her lips, Ferris wheel breath and trembling fingertips, one kiss at the top that I still can't shake, spinning in my memory like it never hit the brakes.
Lord, I've loved and lost since then, but she's the one my heart still trips. Cotton candy on her lips.
I spent $10 on a goldfish, she said she'd name after me, and she told me secrets soft enough that I could barely overhear. We shared cheap fries and laughter while the moon rose bold and bright, and every time she touched my arm, the world felt lit from inside.
There's 7 17, you think it's simple, holding love with open hands, but some things linger longer than the boy who wrote those plans.
Cotton candy on her lips, Ferris wheel breath and trembling fingertips. One kiss at the top that I still can't shake, spinning in my memory like it never hit the brakes.
Lord, I've loved and lost since then, but she's the one my heart still trips.
Cotton candy on her lips.
Years later I came back, walked the fairground slow and wide, heard echoes of her laughter ride the tilt-a-whirl world outside.
And I realized some first loves ain't meant to last or stay. They're just meant to teach you how your heart can feel that way.
Now I stand beneath the same wheel, older eyes but warmer soul, smiling at a memory that somehow never let me go.
And though I found a deeper love than that summer ever knew, a part of me still thanks that girl for showing me the truth.
Cotton candy on her lips, the sweetness time can't smudge or eclipse.
One kiss at the top that taught me how to feel, how a moment can be small but somehow more than real.
I've grown up and moved along, but she's still in my fingertips.
Cotton candy on her lips. Cotton candy on her lips.
She worked the diner, then the classroom, then the checkout late at night. Still came home with a warm plate ready, hiding all her tired fights. I didn't see the cost she paid until the world got loud. Didn't know that quiet strength was something I should feel so proud. 'Cause mama had fire in her apron strings, carried storms on her shoulders like they were small, gentle things. She prayed hard, worked harder, loved deeper than the pain, and somehow stitched our broken days together in her name. Yeah, she held the whole house up with nothing but grit and wings. Mama had fire in her apron strings. I remember nights she'd tremble when she thought I couldn't see, hands still smelling like cornbread, whispering, Lord, take care of me. But come morning she'd be laughing, humming hymns in the kitchen air, teaching me that being strong ain't never meant pretending life is fair. She showed me how to fight my way through burdens I can't hold, how even cracked and weary hearts can beat untouched by cold. 'Cause mama had fire in her apron strings, carried storms on her shoulders like they were small, gentle things. She prayed hard, worked harder, loved deeper than the pain, and somehow stitched our broken days together in her name. Yeah, she held the whole house up with nothing but grit and wings. Mama had fire in her apron strings. Now when life gets heavy and I feel I'm falling short, I hear her voice reminding me, baby, lean on the Lord. And I swear I try to love as fierce as she wants love from me, a flame that never flickered, burning bright through every need. These days I visit her porch steps, bring her flowers just because, watch her smile like the sun itself remembers who she was. And I tell her I'm the man I am, 'cause she never let go her fire, built my courage long before I came to know. Yeah, mama had fire in her apron strings, turned to heart. into something full of tender, mighty things. She prayed hard, worked harder, gave more than she'd ever claimed. Held our world together even when the sky was flame. And I'll spend my whole life trying to honor what she brings. That endless fire in her apron strings. The Lord knows her fire still burns inside my sing.
Built his first stock car behind a barn and rusted tin. Said racing wasn't just a pastime, it was a place where boys turned men. I grew up counting busted knuckles like some kids counting stars, learning legacy on weekends, breathing fuel in battered parts. And by 14 I knew the sound of danger humming soft in me. Knew I'd slide into that driver's seat and carry on 17. Cause on that dirt track life moves faster than the fear that chills your spine. Engines roaring like they're preaching on the edge of a crooked line. Rivalries burn hotter than the lights above the scene. But I'm home when dust is rising in the number 17. Mama prayed under the bleachers every Saturday at 8, while me and Tommy Two-Fist Jones settled scores at every gate. We weren't fighting out of anger, just the fire we couldn't hide on that red clay battlefield where pride and steel collide. And every twist and turn reminds me danger's always in the lead. But courage grows where fear won't go behind the wheel at speed. Yeah, on that dirt track life moves faster than the fear that chills your spine. Engines roaring like they're preaching on the edge of a crooked line. Rivalries burn hotter than the lights above the scene. But I'm home when dust is rising in the number 17. Some folks chase their glory in a church or on a stage, but mine lives in the throttle and the risk I choose to wage. It's the echo of my granddad in the rumble underneath, telling me there's more to living than the breath you get to keep. Tonight the crowd is packed and waiting, flags are trembling in the breeze. I strap in tight, feel my heartbeat sinking with the turning keys. And when that green light flashes forward, everything inside me screams, not in fear but raw belonging to the legacy in me. Cause on this dirt track life moves faster than the fear that chills your spine. Engines roaring like they're preaching on the edge of a crooked line. Rivalries burn hotter than the lights above the scene. And I'm home when dust is rising in the number 17. So when they ask me why I risk it, I just smile through gasoline. Some folks live safe forever, me I live in 17. I was barefoot on that dirt road, chasing summer down the bend. Fireflies and mason jars, swear they were my first best friends. Mama's old dog trotting with me, tail brushing up the dust. Pedals on that busted bike squeaking like they learned to trust. Every scratch on my skin had a story to tell. Every sunset taught me things I never learned so well. Red clay on my tomorrow, still stuck to my past. Those slow fading childhood footprints, never thought they'd last. I can feel that warm night air every time I close my eyes. I grew Skin knees from racing shadows, laughing loud enough for miles. Granddad whittling stories, carving truth between the trials. A porch light meant a supper time, but I stretched the fading day, trying hard to hold on to the magic before it slipped away. Those small town lessons didn't feel like much back then, but they held me like the night holds a song of a southern wind. Red clay on my tomorrow, still stuck to my past. Those slow fading childhood footprints, never thought they'd last. I can feel that warm night air every time I close my eyes. I grew up on a dirt road dream that never really dies. Now the world moves faster than my bike ever could, but part of me still pedaling hard through that old neighborhood. And every time life blindsides me, leaves me lost or feeling small, I hear fireflies flicker like they're whispering, you know, joy through it all. So I'm driving down that same road, older bones but steady hands, just a man retracing footprints in familiar southern land. Now let that red clay memory rise gentle with the breeze, 'cause it's the boy I used to be that still brings the man to his knees. Red clay on my tomorrow, still stuck to my past. Those slow fading childhood footprints, turns out they're built to last. And when I feel the world get heavy, I just look up to the skies. I'm still living that dirt road dream that never really dies. Yeah, that dirt road dream never really dies.
Before we gave a choice. The boat rocked easy, old wood creaking slow, and I learned more in that silence than school could ever show. I didn't know back then how quick time runs. Didn't know those mornings would shape the man I'd become. Where the river remembers us, every cast, every call. Where he taught me how to stand up, how to rise when I fall. In the hush of the dawn, with the world barely awake, I learned strength ain't in muscles, it's in the choices you make. Yeah, every lesson he gave me came covered in dust, down where the river remembers us. Hunting season came with boots by the doorway, him sipping black coffee, me pretending I liked the taste. We walked those woods quiet, leaves whispering secrets. He said a man who listens close won't let his life go to waste. I watched him track shadows like he carried the land, and I follow behind, trying to grow into his hands. Back then I figured those moments would never fade, but time slips through your fingers quicker than the lines we laid. Where the river remembers us, every cast, every call. Where he taught me how to stand up, how to rise when I fall. In the hush of the dawn, with the world barely awake, I learned strength ain't in muscles, it's in the choices you make. Yeah, every lesson he gave me came covered in dust. These days it's my boy sitting small on that bench seat, his boots barely touching the floor, face lit by sunrise gold. I cast out beside him, say be patient, take your time, and I feel my father's lessons flow through me as I grow old. Where the river remembers us, it keeps every truth. Every sunrise I shared with him, now I pass to my youth. In the hush of the dawn, with my son by my side, I see the long quiet mornings where generations collide. Yeah, every blessing we're given gets passed through the rust, down where the river remembers us. And when my voice is just a whisper in the wind and the dust, that river will still hold the story of us. I was born where the porch lights glow like fireflies at dusk, where grandma's cornbread rises slow and smells like home, where every July brings a festival down Main Street, with fiddles crying, kids running, and fried pies that stand alone. I grew up breathing in stories carried by the warm night air. Learned early that where you're from is something you wear, and every step I've taken past that county line has only made the meaning clearer in this heart of mine. 'Cause down here we got roots you can taste in the air, tradition stitched tight like the quilts in mama's chair. From the drawing our voices to the songs we all share, you don't just live southern, you feel it everywhere. Call it pride, call it home, call it love laid bare. Yeah, we got roots you can taste in the air. There's a barbecue pit rusting behind my uncle's barn, where arguments start friendly and end with full plates, and Sunday mornings echo with harmonies of old hymns. Notes rising through the rafters like they're carrying our fates. You learn real quick that family ain't just blood or kin, it's the folks who show up before trouble settles in. And every time I've left for the world outside, I've carried that accent and everything it implies. 'Cause down here we got roots you can taste in the air, tradition stitched tight like the quilts in mama's chair. From the drawing our voices to the songs we all share, you don't just live southern, you feel it everywhere. Call it pride, call it home, call it love laid bare. Yeah, we got roots you can taste in the air. I've seen cities shine brighter than a midnight fair, but none of them feel like the memories buried here. And the older I get, the more I understand. Belonging ain't just a place, it's the shape of your land. Now I'm standing where my father once stood proud, watching the same red clay dust rise beneath my boots. Teaching my own kids the stories that shape me, so they'll know why this ground holds our truth. And maybe someday if they wander far and roam. They'll breathe in that southern air and remember home. But down here we got roots you can taste in the air. Tradition stitched tight like the quilts in mama's chair. From the drawing our voices to the songs we all share. You don't just live southern, you feel it everywhere. Call it pride, call it home, call it love laid bare. Yeah, we got roots you can taste in the air. So here's to the flavor of life we proudly claim.
Neighbors wandered over early like the yard was half a mile. Kids ran barefoot through the clover while Miss Jean brought her peach pie. Didn't matter who you came with, everyone belonged inside. 'Cause down here kindness ain't a favor, it's the way the good Lord taught. A quiet kind of giving that don't ask for much at all. This is where the door swings open wide, where come on in is not a line, where a plate gets passed before you speak, and folks remember what you find, where help arrives before you need, and love don't stay confined. Yeah, this town's got a heartbeat made of pride, where the door swings open wide. Old man Carter's truck broke down one August afternoon. Before he even called a soul, half the block was there by noon. Some brought tools and some brought sweet tea, some just came to lend an ear. 'Cause trouble shrinks to nothing when your neighbor's pulling near. And every smile says your family, even if your blood ain't mine. That's the kind of grace we offer every single time. This is where the door swings open wide, where come on in is not a line, where a plate gets passed before you speak, and folks remember what you find, where help arrives before you need, and love don't stay confined. Yeah, this town's got a heartbeat made of pride, where the door swings open wide. And maybe the world spins faster now, but here the pace stays slow. We measure time in handshakes and in blessings that we sow. No lock can teach you comfort like a porch light glowing warm, or a knock that ain't a warning, but a neighbor keeping informed. Now I'm growing my own front porch, kids racing through the yard, and every time a stranger stops I wave like it ain't hard. I learned from those before me, hospitality's a sign that home is more than lumber, it's the way we treat mankind. Yeah, this is where the door swings open wide, where come on in is not a line, where a plate gets passed before you speak, and folks remember what you find, where help arrives before you need, and love don't stay confined. This town still got that heartbeat made of pride, where the door swings open wide. So pull up, friend, no need to knock, we're right here all the time, 'cause this is home forever, where the door swings open wide. There's a slow talking sun in this sleepy little town, dripping down the rooftops like it's got nowhere to be. Granddad's old porch swing still creaking when I sit down. A mason jar of sweet tea sweating right beside me. The heat clings soft like it's holding me. cicadas tune up like they always will.
I used to chase every highway, never learned how to stay. But something in this quiet starts whispering my name.
'Cause these sweet tea summers know how to slow a man down. Let the world spin wild while I stay here in town, in the warm golden hush of an August afternoon.
I'm finding pieces of myself I thought I'd lose too soon.
Yeah, in the sticky heat I finally breathe. These sweet tea summers are saving me.
Mama's wind chimes laugh in that late day breeze, while little kids bike circles in the shade of the trees. I watch the dust rise gentle on a gravel road bend, like even the dirt ain't in no hurry to end.
And the boy I was keeps sitting with the man I became, trying to stitch back the moments that never felt the same.
I used to run from the stillness, scared of the truth, but now it feels like the only place that knows what to do.
'Cause these sweet tea summers know how to slow a man down. Let the world spin wild while I stay here in town, in the warm golden hush of an August afternoon.
I'm finding pieces of myself I thought I'd lose too soon.
Yeah, in the sticky heat I finally breathe. These sweet tea summers are saving me. Maybe the good Lord knew I'd get lost on the run, so he wrapped me in the rhythm of a slow setting sun. And sometimes standing still is how a man learns to grow. In the quiet of a porch swing, truth starts to show.
Now the stars come out early, hanging low and bright, and I raise my glass to the cool mercy of night. I ain't the same restless soul I used to be. This old town slow living finally caught up with me.
Yeah, these sweet tea summers still slow me right down, keep my boots grounded deep in the sweet southern ground. In that warm golden hush of an August afternoon, I found a better man standing where the old one once stood. And in the sticky heat I learned to believe. These sweet tea summers done rescued me, on a porch swing swaying in a soft July breeze. I found my heart where I thought it'd never be. Soft while the screen door taps the floor. Cousins run wild through the clover yard. Grandma's quilt laid out under the shade. And I'm standing with a plate in my hands, realizing how these moments get made. 'Cause the recipes ain't written, they remembered when you're missing. There's smoke on the stove, peace on the table, healing in the hands that stir the past. We pass down love like Sunday supper, slow cooked, steady made to last. You can taste forgiveness in the biscuits, feel hope rise with the cornbread warm. Yeah, there's smoke on the stove, peace on the table, and somehow a family once more.
My brother hadn't come around in years, left after a fight we barely recall. But today
There's smoke on the stove, peace on the table, healing in the hands that stir the past. We pass down love like Sunday supper, slow cooked, steady, made to last. You can taste forgiveness in the biscuits, feel hope rise with the cornbread warm. Yeah, there's smoke on the stove, peace on the table, and somehow we're family once more. Maybe love ain't loud or fancy, maybe it's the scraps you save, maybe it's the seeds you leave open, even when you're hurt and afraid.
Maybe it's learning the old recipes, not to cook but to carry on, to remember the hands that taught you long after those hands are gone.
I'm the one out back with the smoke, my little girl watching through the door. She asks why we gather every summer, what we keep coming together for. I hand her a spoon and say, taste this, is this how we meant what broke?
She smiles like she understands, and the future rises slow as smoke.
There's smoke on the stove, peace on the table, healing in the hands that stir the past. We pass down love like Sunday supper, slow cooked, steady, made to last. You can taste forgiveness in the biscuits, feel hope rise with the cornbread warm. Yeah, the smoke on the stove, peace on the table, and it's our turn to keep it strong. So pull up a chair, don't matter your story, there's room here for every heart tongue. 'Cause where the stove smokes and the table's open, family is always reborn. The sky turned green by supper time, that old uneasy kind of glow. Mama lit a candle early, said sunstorms come and storms will go. I watched the pines start bending sideways, felt the house begin to shake, held my breath while thunder hammered like the world was about to break. But in the cracks between the lightning, in the fear we couldn't hide, I saw Daddy's steady shadow, and I learned what courage looks like. 'Cause down here the wind may take our rooftops, tear our fences from the ground, but it never takes our spirit or the way this town sticks around. We rise from mud and splinters like a hymn that can't go wrong. Yeah, the night can hit us hard, but the morning after makes us strong. At daylight we stepped outside to see our world turned on its head. The neighbor's porch was scattered and the Johnson's barn was shed to shreds. But folks showed up with gloves and hammers without anyone asking why. Just a nod, a word of comfort, and no, we'll fix what didn't survive. 'Cause when storms come ripping through us, leaving bruises on our land, we stitch the pieces back together with 100 helping hands. Yeah, the wind may take our rooftops, tear our fences from the ground, but it never takes our spirit or the way this town sticks around. We rise from mud and splinters like a hymn that can't go wrong. Yeah, the night can hit us hard, but the morning after makes us strong. There's a quiet kind of bravery that don't need a single cheer, just a pot of coffee warming for the ones still shaking fear. It's in every board we hammer, every story shared at dawn, in the hope we plant like seedlings where the broken things belong. Now years have passed since that hurricane, but I still hear that roaring sound. And every time the wind picks up, I remember why I love this town. 'Cause storms may test our bodies, may rearrange our lives, but they never tear the backbone of a place where love survives. Oh, the wind may take our rooftops, tear We've been weathering all along, and every dawn reminds me the morning after makes us strong. There's a hollow past Dead Man's Bridge where the pines lean in like they can hear. My granddad warned me as a kid, don't go wandering after dark out there. But I was 16, full of stubborn, chasing dares and local lore. Didn't think a whisper had to wait till I heard one by the forest floor. Some stories live longer than the hands that told them. Some nights the past walks like it still owns them. 'Cause there's lands where the shadows walk, glowing pale as a winter flame. I swear I saw a soldier's coat and heard someone call my name. Every secret in that southern dirt feels older than the ground I'm standing on. Yeah, there's lanterns where the shadows walk, and they're brightest when you're alone. I met a girl from town last summer, said her kin died in the Civil War. She keeps a journal of old stories passed down from generations before. One night she showed me trembling sketches, figures drifting in the mist. Said they ain't here to hurt you, just to remind you they still exist. The further you run from the truth you're fearing, louder it becomes in the silence you're hearing. 'Cause there's lanterns where the shadows walk, glowing pale as a winter flame. I swear I saw a soldier's coat and heard someone call my name. Every secret in that southern dirt feels older than the ground I'm standing on. Yeah, there's lanterns where the shadows walk, and they're brightest when you're alone. When you're alone. Maybe the ghosts ain't just the dead, maybe they're the things we hide, the promises we never kept, the tears we pushed to the side. If you listen close in the haunted dark, you'll hear more than the echoes roam. You might just meet the parts of you that never found their way home. Tonight I'm back at Dead Man's Bridge with a lantern of my own this time. I'm done pretending shadows fade just 'cause you leave them all behind. I stand still till my breathing settles and the woods feel like they breathe with me. And for the first time I ain't frightened, just willing to let the past walk free. Now there's lanterns where the shadows walk, but I ain't turning from the flame. If I see that old gray soldier's coat, I'll nod when he says my name. 'Cause every truth in the southern dirt has a right to finally be known. Yeah, there's lanterns where the shadows walk, but I ain't walking them alone. So let the legends keep their stories, let the holler hum its song. There are ghosts in every heartbeat, some just linger a little long.
Where old love letters burn quiet and nobody keeps the score. Sundays look holy, but the pews are filled with memories of promises that never held and grudges older than the trees.
Every porch light flicker feels like someone saying more than the words they let slip when you're standing at their door. 'Cause small towns speak in whispers behind the wall.
smile too soft to hide.
Walking past the old feed store to meet what ain't her daddy's pride.
And Tommy Joe still hates the man who stole his granddad's land. Though they
Shake hands at the diner like it ain't part of the plan.
truth is, in a place this small, the past don't stay behind.
It hangs around like perfume from a girl you can't unwind.
Small town speaking whispers behind the water tower, where secrets bloom like kudzu, taking over every hour. Nobody tells you nothing, but somehow everybody knows. These quiet dirt road stories travel faster than the crows. I used to think I'd outrun it, leave it all for city lights, but even now I hear those voices echo through my nights. And I've learned that every secret, every heartbreak, every sin
It's just a part of where you come from and the world you're living in. So I'm driving back this evening, older eyes but steady heart, seeing all those whisper stories as the threads that stitched our parts.
I ain't here to judge the past or fan the ashes of old pain.
Just to finally understand the roots I tried so long to name.
'Cause small town speaking whispers behind the water tower, and though the truth grows wild and tangled, there's still something in its power. Nobody tells you nothing, but somehow everybody knows. These stories that once haunted me now feel like we're outgrown.
Yeah, whispers behind the water tower.
Still call me when I go.